All right, welcome to the day two open qualifiers for the Tech 2 tournament. My name is
Hello.
my name is Beltram, and joining me today is my co-caster Valdez, and we are covering LaSh v 3D Cats best of five for the finals for today.
This is the second open qualifiers of the Elite Classic 2 tournament for Age of Empires 4, and we are so excited to be here covering this tournament and just bringing you some of the action in this incredible game, really, Age of Empires 4. I'm glad to be spending more time covering this game. What do you say?
Absolutely, and I think we've got a great match today. We've got the Juicy Legacy against Jean d'Arc, LaSh and 3D Cat. Both have been performing really well today, obviously, since they're in the finals. And now that we get the best of five format, it's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but if you win this best of five, you will be getting into the tournament later this next month.
That is correct. That's how that works. Yeah.
That is amazing. So everything on the line here for these players. I'm sure they want to move on and they just have one last opponent standing in their way. And let's see how they play it out here in the opening game. What kind of strategies they go for, kind of feel out their opponent. I think that they played a game yesterday, right? A series,
That yeah
these two players.
yeah I believe so. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not even sure who won that series yesterday, but it's a new day. And these players are both probably pretty equally matched. So I think it really comes down to a day by day thing. Who's at the top of their game today?
Well, it looks like 3D Cat is just going super hard into gold here, uh, leveling up Jean over there, and then over here we have LaSh. He's got the Imperial official out collecting those taxes. He's got the sheep over here next to the mill, not missing out on a single gold this game.
You're telling me that the tax man just stands there and everybody works harder?
Oh yeah,
Like that's how it works here for the Juji legacy.
yes sir.
That is funny. That is funny. Look at this guy. Look at these guys. They are working hard in the early game because in the early game, little differences make a big difference later on. Little actions have a big impact. So
Yeah, when the boss
I'm
is watching, you're not avoiding those taxes. So,
you're you're paying up that gold that goes into the bank for LaSh to spend that food from all those sheep there.
yep. And probably the first significant decision of the match is 3D Cat going for the School of Cavalry. Obviously, French sub-faction is going to be really strong with the Cav, and being able to pump them out a tech early is going to be a big deal.
He's bringing some sheep back for his villagers. He had multiple people on wood. I think that was to build his cavalry school. And on the other side, we've got LaSh building the meditation gardens
Yeah,
here.
that's a beautiful eco uh, upgrade, and he's going to be able to get the berries, the gold, and the wood. So it's probably going to be a pretty decent meditation gardens.
Maybe even those deer up on the right there, So
You know, I'm gonna
he's
be
getting four.
honest. I don't know if
Mhm.
it collects deer like that, but that would be really funny if it did. I
He
highly
placed
doubt it.
it right in the center. We'll see what he does. Maybe some farming around it. It's gonna buff up his economy, right?
Question for the philosophers.
We'll find out. We'll see how that plays out for LaSh. So, we've got a military landmark on one side and we've got an economic landmark on the other side for Juji Legacy. And we'll see if some early aggression comes out of Jean d'Arc. 3D Cat could bring some cav forward at some point here in the near future.
With the School of Cavalry coming up, I think that's exactly what his plan is, and going against the Juji Legacy, who wants to focus on economy and late game, I think hitting them with that early aggression is going to be the right call. You don't want to let them sit there and boom. And
Mm-hmm.
without a second's delay, we've got our first Royal Knight coming out from the School of Cavalry.
He was ready to queue those knights up, and Wheelbarrow is going to come in for both players here at nearly identical times. So neither one neglecting economy. He's out gathering some more sheep around the map. Let's see our map here. What kind of map are we working with? We've got 3 sacred sites in the middle, and some kind of mountainous terrain there. And I'm wondering how that's going to play out in the center of the map. Which side do you think here might have a little more ability to control the map if things are going well for them?
You know, tough to say because it looks pretty equal. What is interesting though is that 3D Cat's got 8 villagers mining stone right now, so he's more than likely gonna want to be getting that second town center.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be going for some economy as well, but let's see what he does with those Royal Knights. There's the first one
Yeah, he's on.
arriving near Juji Legacy's base here,
Yep, on the
but
outskirts. He's looking, seeing what he can find. Here
he's
comes
scouting.
Jean.
Okay, okay, the first archer.
That's actually Jean. He went into the archer build for her, which is a really interesting decision because now she's able to poke at these vills from range. And no surprise here, Juganu coming out as well.
Well-timed Juganu to be able to defend. He's going to have the numbers. Oh, that was a hard-hitting bow shot
Yeah, she does
from
have special abilities, and here comes the knight, but there's the spearman for the counter, so those villagers will be safe.
well played by LaSh here to have the right units ready to limit any kind of damage to his economy, and it looks like Jean d'Arc is pulling back now, realizing he can't do anything currently.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. You know, you don't want to overcommit in the early game when the military is so tight. You know, he's only got the one knight. You don't want to burn it for, you know what, one villager. No. He's just gonna take that stone, get his second town center up, get his villager production online so that way he can keep up with the Chinese subfaction Juji's legacy here.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now the walls are coming up. So LaSh is looking pretty safe.
Yeah, LaSh is looking safe, and both players equal in villager count just about, but military wise, LaSh has built a lot more military now than Jean d'Arc already. Um, 3D Cat, still just on his 3 units, he prodded the enemy and then he pulled back, and LaSh is just arming up, and I wonder if maybe that was a tactic by 3D Cat to try to get LaSh to waste some of his resources on military.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think it's really smart that he hasn't built more military yet because he's gotten to see what LaSh wants to do to answer this early aggression, and now he knows he's building spearmen, he's building Juganu, and so now he's gonna be able to switch his production from knights over to whatever he wants. So here comes the first archer.
Okay, he's got an archer queued up, and he's going to see this army coming forward. Ooh, that charge attack. Yeah, you got to watch out. He does have 11 Juganu ready there to just quickly micro down anybody, just could click on any unit he wants and probably take him out in this early stage. I
I'm
wonder what kind of
interested.
defenses he's building at home here. He knows
That's
this
what
is
I'm wondering
coming.
about as well because he has no walls, he has no military. Looks like an outpost is gonna come up for the gold, but yeah, if LaSh gets a little more aggressive, he might be able to actually find something here because 3D Cat does not have nearly enough.
And he's getting the archer armor upgrade, 3D Cat is, while LaSh is getting the steeled arrow upgrade.
Yep, that's pretty smart. Obviously, he knows that LaSh is building Juganu, so he wants to get that armor ASAP. That's the first upgrade coming through, or well, I guess second.
LaSh queuing up more spearmen and more Juganu,
Looks
while
like
Jean d'Arc is gathering all the deer that he can find.
yeah, I think that's probably another great idea because even though LaSh has the military, he does not have the map control and he has no idea.
3D Cat moving forward there just to check where LaSh's army is, keeping an eye on it, making sure his numbers don't get too out of control because he does outnumber his military count almost 3 to 1.
Luckily, LaSh does not, or luckily for 3D Cat rather, LaSh has no idea that he's been sleeping on the mill.
And he's taking out those deer.
Did he just accidentally recall all of his villagers to the town center
That might have been a misclick there
there?
because I'm not really sure what he would have done that for, being under no pressure currently.
That was pretty funny to see the town bell ringing.
Think he was really just trying to gather some villagers up to build this Shaolin monastery, which is about to go up and get him into age 3. Welcome to the Castle Age, LaSh. Now you have the ability to build monks out of that monastery. What's his plan there?
Shaolin monks, yeah. His plan probably to go collect the relics, get that gold bonus. He's already moving on to the first sacred site with the military, playing it safe. There's the relic too, so that's a 2-for-1 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And 3D Cat is starting the archer production, but even with 13 archers, I don't know. I mean, they do counter the spearmen, but the Juganu are a powerhouse, and now that LaSh is feeling, pretty confident with the Castle Age, he's gonna be looking to see what he can find.
Yeah, he's moving forward, but look at the number working food for 3D Cat here. He's got 24 on food and he has the horticulture upgrade. So he's really looking to buff his food economy up. He's got 33 on food now. And here comes the battle. The spearmen countering the Royal Knight charge. The archers trying to find damage on the spearmen. If he can take out all those spearmen, then the knights should be able to do some work on the archers here.
Jean d'Arc going down.
Joan d'Arc has fallen. But quickly returning to the battlefield. Now LaSh is on the run because those 3 Royal Knights are able to do a lot of damage. There's only 3 left now. There was 4, but a good fight for Jean d'Arc. Really?
Yeah, he played at defense underneath the outpost. He baited the spearmen into the archer's range with a couple of cavalry charges. He was able to knock out the unit that was preventing him from getting into the backline Juganu, and then he just completely cleaned up LaSh's army, and that is going to buy him a lot of breathing room for the next couple of minutes.
I can't help but feel like that pressure out of LaSh was just a little bit too slow. You know, he had Jean d'Arc's military outnumbered about 3-1 until maybe 30 seconds before that fight when it about evened out on the population side. So maybe just a little bit slow to try to find damage there from LaSh. I felt like his army was standing around for quite a long time in the mid game.
Yep, hindsight is 2020, and he will definitely regret that one.
But you know he's rebuilding his army. It's not like LaSh has taken a lot of economic damage. It's just that he is significantly behind on villagers because of building that early army, investing all those resources that way.
Yeah, the second town center is looking to be paying its dues for 3D Cat right now, and after winning a decisive battle in the early game, LaSh is definitely going to be on the back foot right now.
Yeah, but has LaSh grabbed that relic in the center yet?
Oddly enough,
With
he is not, but the Shaolin
yeah,
monk is going to put his toes down on that, and in the meantime, on the back line, we've got the Jiangnan Tower coming down, so he's looking for age 4.
yeah, age 4, and I believe that 3D Cat just hit age 3 with his most recent landmark up in the back.
Yeah, that is correct. The Guild Hall. It's a economic landmark, and it looks like trading. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of a bank, you put resources in and you're able to accumulate more.
Yeah, what's interesting is that 3D Cat's economy is looking actually better right now by a lot. And
Yeah, quite a bit better.
with the 15-minute mark, we're gonna switch it to income per minute, and you can actually see the food is very close. The wood, huge wood production coming out on 3D Cat.
Mm-hmm. That's going to enable him to get those archers numbers up. probably faster. But they're battling all over the map here. He's gonna get that relic. So while 3D Cat might be looking to do the guild hall, LaSh is out there collecting relics, and that's at least 2 banked for him so far.
Yep.
Yeah, well, the second one will be coming in, and he's just gonna walk right by that sacred site. I guess he's not really worried about it. He's looking to fight here.
Yeah, he's got more important things to do, but this is not a good idea with the 2 outposts and the Juganu protected by spearmen.
He's not gonna be able to stop that monk from taking the relic home.
Uh-uh.
That was probably what he was looking to do there.
Yeah, what a close call, honestly.
And we've got the wall from LaSh on the north side of the map, so he is looking to defend that sacred site up north and possibly that trading outpost.
Yeah, I think that's a great wall. Very good idea by 3D Cat.
And oh, you see, LaSh on the right here is running away with the relic. He's gonna take the long way home,
uh,
but no, he's been spotted. And the wolf has no sympathy for the lone monk on the run.
what a disaster. RIP to him, and back to the north, the
Okay,
Juganu.
so we've got a lot of numbers for LaSh here. Let's see how these crossbowmen hold up.
So
LaSh has slightly better archer upgrades for defense.
I am shocked at how fast these Royal Knights are going down.
Yeah, the Royal Knights just not able to compete with this amount of numbers. You know, maybe there's just yeah, you got to send in at least 5 Royal Knights at a time to do any real damage here. 1 or 2 is just they're gonna get deleted before they can even touch the archers.
Yeah, it looks like 3D Cat's just gonna walk LaSh back to his base with the archers though, so
This is great by 3D Cat. He's pushing in extremely hard. There's only 1 spearman left for LaSh. None now, so the knights can just continue to walk in there.
oh, 3D Cat is feeling confident. He's just gonna. Oh, but the Nest of Bees on the back line is gonna get a huge hit and force him back.
Ooh! That nest of bees comes out of nowhere in the back, and 3D Cat says, "I don't want any of that. I'm out."
Yeah,
He
that could
says
not
that
have
was
been more well timed, honestly.
yeah, that was a great nest of bees. Maybe he could have used it, 30 seconds sooner, but it comes out when it was most needed. So that's good. And what's going on back at LaSh's base, or here at 3D Cat's base? There's just a couple of units out here harassing the villagers.
Yeah, the Shaolin monk looking to convert some French villagers, and he will go down to the Arbaletrier. French
Mm,
crossbows, obviously amazing for the Pavis ability. Do not want
beautiful
to be.
pronunciation there.
Thank you, I did
Oh,
my best. Nesta
okay.
B is gonna get another sneaky shot off. He wasn't paying attention, 3D Cat there, and he's gonna walk it back. Jean is got her horse now, so she's feeling a little speedy.
Yeah, yeah. Is it interesting to you that on the south side of the map, on the relic or the sacred site, he is walled behind it? Almost walled himself off from it is what he's looking to do. Um, I would have thought he would try to wall the other side of the site. Maybe it's just a little more difficult or dangerous. But maybe he's more interested in protecting that trade market down there than the site itself.
Well, the French are a good trade faction, and you don't want to overextend the wall and get greedy, because if he does take the sacred site, his wall will most definitely get taken down. So, I think it's a respectable move, not getting too greedy. And what is this? Veteran horseman. Looks like he's going into the light cav now. Uh, very smart move. He knows the opponent is building Juganu.
Yeah. LaSh still only 2 spearmen, so maybe those horsemen are going around trying to get an angle on the nest of bees. This is where that Nest of Bees hit him. It looks like it's just going to be an economic raid here. And wow, quick reactions by LaSh to get those walls down and make sure that those horsemen couldn't get in. That could have been devastating if they had gotten in there.
Yeah, he was not sleeping for 1 second. He did not waste a microsecond getting that wall up, and it just saved his economy big time,
And
unfortunately.
in the north, we've got some kind of fight going down.
Yeah.
They took a couple of knights out, and the
Uh,
wool
uh,
coming in strong.
yeah, almost to safety, not quite. Just gonna
So
look for.
right now we've got resource wise 3D Cat with 800-ish gold. You know, resource wise, there's not much to differentiate these two. Maybe LaSh doing a little bit better on resources. But military wise, 3D Cat has about 10 more military and 20 more villagers. So in the long run, things are still, I'd say 3D Cat's got the advantage. He seems to be roaming in and out of LaSh's base. LaSh just needs to be careful. He's even walled up entirely in the corner,
Yeah,
a little safety corner.
he's got the town center with the gold. This is a beautiful little spot. The berries, another gold. And we've got another set of walls coming up zigzagging on this hill here, so that town center is going to be very safe. And with the military pushing up towards mid, we might have our first large-scale encounter 21 minutes into the match.
And that outpost in the mid has a sprinkled emplacement, I believe. Is this the one?
No, yeah, it does have the sprinkle emplacement, and he's going to get the fortify in, so he's going to have a very strong presence in the mid here. I don't think LaSh can take this fight on the offense here. And with the Springles coming out on the back line, those Nest of Bees are going to have a very, very tough time.
Yeah, and I'd say the big difference here is that 3D Cat just doesn't have any spearmen of any kind, whereas LaSh has 11 of them. But look at 3D Cat. He's just roaming around the map with this army. And here comes the big fight in the center. Or is he going to let the Springle do most of the work here? He doesn't want to take that fight at the same time as he's raiding in the back here. He's trying to keep an eye on his horsemen so they don't get caught by the spearmen. And they're just going to run off. One of the advantages of having fast units is you can run all the way back the back corner of the enemy's base. And here we go. The Springles are moving forward. The Nest of Bees are falling back. One of them goes down. Joan d'Arc pushing up, saying that is my sacred site. I do not want you messing with it.
Yeah,
And LaSh,
I was a
what's
little
LaSh gonna
worried.
do?
LaSh is gonna walk it back home, but with the Nest of Bees being as slow as they are, they might get caught out here if 3D Cat decides to keep pushing this. Luckily, he's he's not gonna. Oh, here comes the light. Yeah, no, he wants this.
Okay, but you know, LaSh building a lot of military here, and Joan d'Arc just lost 10 units in that barrage.
Pushing the Springles way too far up. He's gonna lose one, maybe two. He
Gotta
does have
defend them.
he does have a good mix of archers and crossbows though, so unfortunately, I don't think the crossbows are really gonna help him here because he doesn't have any heavy units. Just the Jugunu and the crossbows. Ooh. Ooh. This
Oh,
is a red palace. Defensive landmark. Throwing it down in the mid. 24 workers on the way to get this thing up. He's not messing around. What do we have going on in the back line here? A couple of spearmen. He's gonna get another keep up to defend two gold nodes.
yep, those spearmen are gonna do well against the Cav, but oh, and the Mangonel is looking to find a large grouping of targets here.
This is such an
Missing.
important battle because LaSh is gonna feel pressured to push this because the keep is going up.
The Springles are firing on the Nest of Bees. Took out 2 of them already, but there are so many archers for LaSh, so many Jugunu. We'll
One
see what these Royal Knights can do if they maintain this charge.
The light cav are going to
Yeah,
get onto the back line. This is going to be really bad for LaSh.
yeah, the light cav just tanking up a lot of the archer fire, and look at 3D Cat walking up. They're shooting arrows at each other from point blank range.
Yeah, he says, I know your goose is cooked, and I'm going to walk you right back to your base again.
Still one nest of bees up. That could do some damage.
Yeah, and with all the sprinkles gone from the skirmish earlier, it's going to be relatively safe this time around, but more sprinkles coming out. Keep goes up.
Keep goes up, and look at 3D Cat. He's got over 1,100 food in the bank right now. He's rebuilding his light cav army, and LaSh just not really producing much at all in terms of military right now. So I think we might see a military difference in the next fight. But LaSh has a lot of gold banked. We'll see what he chooses to spend that on.
If if 3D Cat is able to get this keep up over here, he's going to have like 70% map control, and he's going to have LaSh stuck in his base with nowhere to go. So
Mm-hmm.
this is going to come into play here pretty soon. He can't let this happen, and the outpost is going to go up for the vision. His military is just sitting here.
Yeah, 3D Cat getting some elite upgrades for his units.
Indeed, he is elite horseman. That's going to be huge for the next
And he
fight.
also got the elite archers, some kind there.
And a couple of light cav going to just stroll through the base looking for whatever they can find.
Yeah, he's scouting out where his villagers are and maybe looking for somewhere he can lead a raid. He does have 27 light cav running around, so
Here we go again with the light cav trying to get through the wood walls, but the spearmen are going to show up once again. He is microing the absolute every single wall possible. He does not want him to get through, and he is able to hold the line. However, was this a distraction?
was this a distraction down in the south? Is this defensive landmark going up? Yeah, look, he's pulled back his whole army to deal with those two scouts, and 3D Cat, great distracting. He's always bringing the cav over to the west side of the map and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna raid you over here," and then he takes the relics on the other side of the map, or he builds a defensive landmark on his stone out there.
Yeah.
Map control has been great from 3D Cat.
See, this is really smart because he's putting a lot of pressure with these light cav on the north side of the map, making LaSh move to defend. In the meantime, on the south side of the map, 3D Cat, he gets the keep up, and now this 8,000 gold is all his, as well as the stone
Eight
outcropping.
thousand. Yeah, yeah, and with the springolds he's got, and here comes his army. He's looking to push his advantage right now. He's got resources in the bank. LaSh has a lot of resources banked. Is he able to spend those to help himself defend here?
Yeah, they're definitely not going to help him in the bank right now. He needs everything that he can get because this is a huge army just walking directly into his base. No walls to stop, but the spearmen will come to stop the light cav, protecting the Juganu. Springolds,
Yeah, yeah. This is not where you want your light cav to be. They're in the choke point and they're getting eaten alive right now. But maybe it's just the elite upgrade is making a big difference here. They seem to be staying alive better, and the archers are putting in damage.
yeah, this is not looking
Military
good for
numbers
LaSh.
dropping for both sides. They're both losing quicker than they're producing here. This is in LaSh's base. This is disrupting his economy, his ability to do anything else except fight this fight and try to survive and limit the damage.
Yeah, and that early economy lead with the second town center, you can see it clearly paying its dues, especially along with all the raids that have been going on, 100 vills to 140, and with LaSh's military being non-existent at this point, I I can't believe he's still in this match.
Yeah, if you look at the army value, we've got a 3D Cat's army being worth almost 5 times as much as LaSh's army right now, just in terms of cost of these units. So it's looking like there is not going to be able to be anything built by LaSh that can stop this right now. He has double the army count, and he's probably going to be bringing more army forward. And here comes the raids on all the poor farmers. that thought they were safe in the corner.
Yeah, this has got to be demoralizing for LaSh.
Yeah, 3D Cat just playing a really clean and good game here and keeping the pressure on early. LaSh built up probably, I think it was 15 or so units in the early game in response to 3D Cat building 3 units.
Oh, and
So
they find the hole in the wall. The light cav are gonna be on the back farm economy, and there's no answer.
yeah, a lot of villagers evacuating, but not really sure to where. They're going to run right into these archers that are fighting a battle on one side, and a few of them are picking off villagers on the other side. You can see Lash's villager count has dropped below 90.
He does have a few spearmen, but at this point the economy difference is just too big to not notice. 1,500 food a minute to 2,800. That alone.
Yeah, and you look, LaSh has a few hundred of each resource, whereas 3D Cat's got thousands. So it's 3D Cat can really exert any control he wants to build any unit, do anything he needs to here to finish this game off, and he's got the map control as well.
I'm really appreciating LaSh's resilience and eagerness to keep this match alive. Understanding this is the first match of the best of 5. It's not a good way to go out with a resignation if you don't have to. And he's gonna make 3D Cat work for it. He's gonna say, you need to come into my base and you need to get a lot more than just that if you want me to quit, because this match is very important and I'm not gonna just give it to you.
Yeah, maybe he's allowing himself to cool off a little bit, possibly. He might know in the back of his mind that this match was lost, but he wants to keep playing it out a little bit and just get warmed up for the day because there's possibly 4 matches after this, and they both want to qualify. So he's trying to get back to his A game here. I don't think we really saw as coordinated of a plan out of LaSh here as 3D Cat might have had. Seemed like 3D Cat was mostly making the plays and LaSh was reacting this game.
Yeah, that first early game fight earlier just really swung the game in 3D Cat's favor, bought him a lot of breathing room, and there it is.
And that is game 1 complete. 3D Cat taking down LaSh with Joan d'Arc taking down the Juji Legacy.
GG.
That was a great first game, just over 33 minutes.
Yep, and we will see you guys in the second one.
Great, looking forward to it.
Alright, and here we have game 2. 3D Cat versus LaSh. 3D Cat going to be playing as the Ayubids, LaSh on the Delhi Sultanate. Uh, I will be referred to as Beltram, and my co-caster Valdez is here to join me in game 2 as well.
Hello there, happy to be here once again and excited to see how LaSh responds to last game where 3D Cat was pretty dominant for the most part, just taking good fights and exerting good map control. So we'll see if he changes his strategy at all here in game 2 or if LaSh responds in a different way.
Yep, good thing. And here comes the mosque. And looks like 3D Cat wants early gold, probably, so he can hit age 2.
3D Cat out here. And what is this map that we are on right now? This seems very open.
Good question. I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, we got a dip here in the middle, so it's like some kind of river. It's like
Yeah,
dry river
dry
or something.
basin. Yeah,
Dry basin. Okay. Yeah, and wood wise, it seems like the wood is just blotched around the map with you got 3 wood lines on each side here.
that's actually a really good point. The wood is seeming pretty scarce on this map just in general. I mean, it is, in these giant forests, but I wonder if that's gonna be a factor later in this game.
Yeah, especially because it seems to me that LaSh's wood lines might be a little more difficult to defend, one of them being very near the center of the map.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate because this third one over here for 3D Cat is like not forward, it's more off to the side, so it's definitely going to
Hmm.
be a little safer, probably.
Yeah, definitely a bit safer. And we see Wheelbarrow already coming in for LaSh along with another tech that I am unfamiliar with. What would that second tech be here?
That's a Delhi Sultanate special efficient production
Okay,
because,
so
yeah,
scholars can boost military production.
by 100%, yeah, and I think that Delhi Sultanate gets all their techs for free. It just takes time. So,
I see. Okay. So Delhi Sultanate going for a technological advantage as they always do.
yep.
And
And you really just have to appreciate the calm before the storm in the early game, how peaceful it is compared to how crazy we know it's going to get here in about 10, 15 minutes. We just
yeah,
peacefully
yeah.
scouting the map.
And look, can I get a sheep count? This is one of my favorite
The
parts of the
sheep
early game.
count. All right,
Yeah,
so if
he's gathered up about
if I can get the double click off, it's we're struggling out here.
we'll
Seven,
estimate there's 7 sheep there. Okay, great.
7.
And what about the deli? They already have the sheep under their town center
Oh
back
yeah,
at home.
he's already returned.
Looks to
11.
be 11. So deli, good job scouting in the early game, gathering those sheep up.
You make
Not that they need them because they're berry specialists. Am I wrong?
uh no, you're not wrong. You can actually see that they have the berry upgrade because it gives you this little wicker fence and it adds food.
Agriculture.
Yep.
they are they are masters of it, but we are gonna see with the I Ayubids is that how it's pronounced here? The
That's good enough for government work, and
great.
he's got the sheep. Honestly, when the sheep count is so funny to me because it's like asking like how many like marbles are in the jar,
Yeah,
because it's like
they
how many sheep is that?
they're almost like zebras. They're all sticking close together, overlapping, confusing anyone who looks at them. Where one zebra starts or one sheep ends.
And what was that? Age two for both of them?
H2 reached for both factions here. And what kind of age up buildings we got? The House of Wisdom here
Yeah,
for the
so this
Ayubids.
this is gonna be the tech upgrades, and then you build the wings. So you've got the trade wing, the culture wing, the military wing, and the wing that he just got that I wasn't paying attention to, but he got it.
He got which wing specifically?
Well, now that the upgrades are gone, I don't know.
He's got a wing. He's got a wing on his building, and they're going to be doing work in it. So we'll see if he starts producing a lot of military units. It looks like he's got 2 light cav in the queue right now.
Oh, good point, good point. Yeah, light cav gonna be. Oh boy, is that the scout poking at the vills? But they're gonna get the outpost up. It's not gonna matter. Well, I guess it does kind of matter because his economy's kind of halted in here. Oh my god, and the light cab is going to come in too. No, so now it's a big deal, but he does get the outpost up. They're going to walk away. That's a little early game win. You don't got to kill the vills to be productive. You just got to scare them off resources like he is doing here. That's
Yeah, LaSh doing the opposite of last game. He's in there. He's poking the villagers. He's trying to put a little bit of pressure on 3D Cat, who's already got a 3 villager lead. Looks like he might be able to take one villager out here. But no, the villager survives with about 1 HP left. Two.
devastating.
2 HP. So, it's a game of tiny, tiny decisions making a big impact and saving that one villager. He's going to be bringing in resources for some time to come instead of lying in the dirt.
Here comes the light cav.
He's got a 3 light cav raid, one of them low on health, but he's right in on the berry bushes. Quick reaction from 3D Cat, minimizing downtime there.
Four vills inside the town center. What's going on with that? Okay. Oh, not vills. Military. Okay.
Oh, okay, so He's got his light cav out, and he'll probably be bringing them into the fight here. Now he's content to just use the arrow fire to limit the numbers, knock those numbers down.
This is a huge, devastating early game coming out of LaSh. I mean, you know, he's only gotten one worker, but the amount of setback on the economy here, it must be so frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I agree that his economy could be falling behind, but on the other hand, he's got his technology. He's just researching in the background. He's got lumberjack technology, he's got mining technology, horticulture. For farming is almost on the way, and 3D Cat has none of those.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
it's not it's not looking good for 3D Cat because on top of LaSh having the military superiority and pushing the economy back, LaSh also has all these technologies coming in. So, what is he gonna do about this?
yeah, and 3D Cat here, he has an army. He's got nine military, but he's not using them to fight for some reason. He is maybe waiting for a larger mass to be able to do something decisively. And in the middle of the map, we got something going on.
The scholar's gonna go down to the light cav.
There we go. So he'd rather roam with his cav than, and here the scholar's going to try to run away, but I'm assuming he will be found.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
3D
not
Cat
getting
knows.
home. Yeah, one spearman is not gonna be enough, and that scholar will go down.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But while he's harassing the scholars, the berry bushes are still not able to be taken really because at this point, LaSh has the numbers to run in on those berry bushes and get a kill every time
I mean,
he
that's
goes
just
for them.
crazy getting pushed off your berry bushes that early. I mean, that's just gotta suck, especially as a berry bush faction. You want to get those berries and to be huddled under the town center like that 9 minutes into the game. That's not a good way to start.
Not ideal. Not ideal at all. And sacred sites being contested around the map.
Yeah, I mean, LaSh was able to pick it up for a little bit here, but it looks like those light cav are just gonna walk it out now. I guess he's gonna be able to defend it, and that's
Yeah,
125 gold a minute. So this
one spearman can go a long way.
yeah, and 3D Cat doesn't have one for himself.
The archers from 3D Cat are pushing back the light cav here. And he's going to join his forces, and I think he'll do much better. 3D Cat fighting with his forces combined like this.
Yeah, I wonder what his plan is with these archers.
Say it's a pretty even game so far. No significant advantage on either side. 3D Cat's limited the damage on all these raids and attacks on his berry line and gold, and it's still anyone's game at this point. We'll see what kind of strategies they go for here.
Yeah, I mean, LaSh did get some good early aggression, pushed him off the berry bushes, but when you look at the Vil count and the mill count, it is equal. Um, so it's still anyone's game.
Definitely, but 3D Cat reaching age 3 here, and LaSh is not there yet.
What did he go
So
for?
what's
Another
what's
wing.
3D Cat got here?
Another wing.
He
Two wings. I don't know. I forgot what wing goes here. He's got
maybe
military.
the economic
Yeah, yeah.
general.
Well, I don't know.
He runs into the wall. LaSh trying to go around there and raid in the north, but
Yeah.
ran into the wall, and now he's gonna walk right into the base and go for these lumberjacks, and let's see how the town center fire treats him. Don't think he's got enough garrison town center to really do much damage, but he's forcing a lot of downtime there.
Yep. One Vil for one horseman is a deal I'll take any day. And what is this? A camel lancer. What is he planning to achieve with these? Oh. Oh, because camels have camels counter cavalry. So that's actually a great idea, seeing as LaSh has all this light cav looking to see what it can find.
But back at LaSh's base, here comes 3D Cat. He's going for some kind of sneak around raid on the gold miner, or we'll see what he goes for. He's just looking for an opening. Only five light caps, so the damage probably won't. Oh, unless he's able to find these berries with no outpost to defend them. There's about 10 villagers there that could all going to be forced to run. Quick reaction from LaSh. And now back at the other base, those villagers are on the run. He's still harassing. Berry villagers are having a rough time this game.
Indeed, they are.
The spearmen are there to defend and really wipe the floor with that little raid.
Yeah, that
Now,
it's very back and forth right now, honestly.
yeah, these archers from 3D Cat really good, but is he able to bring them forward without worrying about getting raided back at home? And he hasn't been able to exert any map control really, and LaSh has taken all three sacred sites.
Oh boy.
LaSh in right now.
Yeah,
A
light
lot of
cav
these
on the back
villagers
line.
just sleeping.
Luckily, he does have the textiles health bonus for him, and LaSh does get surrounded. Vill count is still equal, but yeah, definitely at least mildly annoying. And
Mildly annoying, and walls are going up for
well,
LaSh on the east.
yeah, walls are going up, but also worth noting is the three sacred sites that LaSh is controlling right now, and we've got the clock ticking down 8 minutes for 3D Cat to be able to take one of those away, or he will lose.
And
And
what kind of economic advantage are those sacred sites providing?
well, with 375 gold a minute, so that's not chump change, especially this early in the game.
375 a minute. Wow.
Yeah, so he's gonna go
Yeah, three.
mid. He's gonna take it away. Not a big deal, but it doesn't feel good to be put on the clock like that. So he's
He's
gonna,
gonna try to reset that timer.
yeah, and he's gonna keep the push going. He's gonna find the vills on the berry bushes undefended.
This is good. This is what 3D Cat needs to do is find some economic damage with all these archers.
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, look at all these vills that are gonna get idled out here. That is a big win for 3D Cat, probably the biggest win so far in this match, and he's gonna push his advantage all the way into the base. Oh my goodness. 20 plus vills and the first elephant of the match coming out. That's really bad timing for 3D Cat. I think it's time to leave
That
because
war elephant, 850 HP. He will soak archer fire all day.
with 6 ranged armor against a 7+2 range attack, yeah, I mean they're just never getting through there.
And this is terrible for 3D Cat. He might have just overextended a little bit here.
Yeah, and more archers reinforcements on the way aren't going to be able to do much for him because these light cav counter archers, and there goes all those villagers, 15 of them walking home because they're not going to be able to collect those berries anymore.
Yeah,
I,
this is really bad. He queued up a spearman, but only one, How he's gonna need more than that.
yeah, I don't know what the answer to this elephant is right now, but I know that 3D Cat does not have enough to handle it right now, and
He needs to build a Legolas unit.
yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely does. He needs that super archer to jump on his head and just one-shot that big beast, because I don't know what he's gonna do otherwise.
Yeah, and that, there's like 9 techs in the queue right now for LaSh. It is insane the technology advantage that LaSh is gaining here. He'll be on his second wood cutting upgrade, his second farming upgrade before his second mining upgrade too, all before 3D Cat's able to get one.
And this single camel lancer is gonna get surrounded by vills, but
And they
that's
decide
two.
that chopping wood's more important.
Well, man at arms is gonna be able to clean it up. Sacred site neutralized. Such a interesting looking religious unit. the dervish, the religious unit for the Ayyubids. Camelback with like what are those baskets?
You know, I don't really know. It feels like a luxury trip. You know, you could be like, I just want to sleep, and you drive the camel, and I'll just sleep in this little basket on the side.
Definitely
Looks
one of
kind
the
of comfy.
definitely one of the coolest looking for sure.
Berry wise, what berries have we got here? The ones in the middle, the ones on the left. Yeah, I mean LaSh has economic advantage now with 48 villagers to 3D Cat's 41s.
That's a good point, but he's gonna say, I'm gonna get a town center up and I'm gonna come back from this.
There
Town
he
center
goes.
2.
Town Center 2 protecting the berries on the left.
Take a look at that. That's 3 relics up in there.
3 relics for 3D Cat,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
0 for the Delhi Sultanate.
yeah, and LaSh playing it really safe with the war elephant. I would have liked to see maybe a little more aggression with such a dominant unit on the battlefield. Because I feel like you're giving up the element of surprise because once they see that you have it, then they can look to respond. And having it sit here isn't going to be doing him any favors, especially when an undefended town center gets to be put up like that. That's a
Yeah,
big
and
missed opportunity.
the Ayyubid's got 8 spearmen now, 8 crossbowmen, 7 archers, 3 camels. You know, so he's got a nice unit variety there. Ready to go to battle. It could really come down to positioning in this next fight since the army counts are pretty similar. And a
Yeah,
wall going up across the entire map for the Delhi Sultanate.
yeah, it's a good looking wall. It's going to give him a lot of safety. About 40% of the map is going to be covered, and on such an empty map, I wonder how much wood that's going to cost him, honestly.
Yeah, and it hasn't gone up yet. He's still got to build it, so we'll see if he ever is able to fully complete that because the Ayyubids are sending in some camels. You know, they're looking for what they can find. They're gonna find a few villagers. They're gonna help bring this back to even. We got a big fight in the middle right now. They're moving up. They said you can't have these berries,
Yeah,
but they're fighting an uphill battle.
those are now the Delhi Sultanates, and with such an aggressive keep coming out, this is the kind of aggression that I'm talking about. Like this is beautiful. This is gonna give him so much protection. Now when they fight, he's gonna be able to fall back to the keep, so he doesn't have to run all the way across the map.
Ooh, big mangonel shot. A couple more like that could really hurt the archer's ability to put damage out here.
Definitely, and this keep really needs to be coming up right now, because once it is, I guarantee you 3D Cat is gonna wanna walk it away. Decent shot coming from the Mangonel. Technically called a Manganique. It is a little bit better because it has a flaming shot ability, but it's gonna go down anyway.
Wow, trading an elephant for the Manchanique, I'd say that's a pretty decent trade at this point in the game because they get the keep up and the archers are safe.
Yeah, this keep is just gonna be putting so much pressure on 3D Cat. And where is his siege works? Can we find it? What's it up to?
Somewhere there on the right.
Well, regardless. Oh, was that a Springle upgrade? Yeah, he's already got the Springle upgrade coming out on the keep.
Wow.
And where's the military from 3D Cat? Destroyed? Vanquished?
Only 16 of them around. You know, most of them are just in the base, kind of turtling up right now. He's relying on his town center to defend him here on the left.
And earlier we were talking about the lack of wood on this map, and here we see it coming into play because he built the wall earlier, but now there's gaps in the forest. This is a potential problem for the safety of 3D Cat's base.
Yeah, and 3D Cat moving all his villagers to the other wood line right now
Very
in the back.
beautiful Manganique shot coming through. Look at all those kills. One shot.
Wow. Yeah, the Manjanique, a great defensive unit for him here. I mean, without the first Manjanique and that second one there, he could have gotten hurt a lot more.
Well, what
And here
is
comes the
this?
villagers.
What?
What
Oh,
are they going to do?
okay. This is another beautiful move by LaSh. He's gonna get another keep up to defend a sacred site. He's got control of two sacred sites already. With this keep holding mid, this keep is gonna be able to hold the west side of the map. And 3D Cat is just slowly getting choked out in this match. I mean, if you look at the map,
Hmm.
he's barely
Hmm.
got his own base safe right now. Huge shot.
Oh, big Manjanique shot, but he's just going to move his villagers to the other side and probably get back to building here. He's got
Luckily,
one light
luckily,
cav going in.
yeah, I mean, luckily he does have enough vills that this keep is like definitely going to be going up. But those were definitely some good shots. Unfortunately, the keep going up is, you know, not ideal for 3D Cat.
Yeah, and you know, gold income wise, 3D Cat, 4 relics, but LaSh, 2 sacred sites with the third most likely about to be captured since he's got a keep right next to it.
Who won match one of this best of five? Was it 3D Cat?
3D Cat did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just hard for me to believe right now, considering how one-sided this match is going. It just goes to
Yeah,
show you how back and forth, equally matched these opponents are.
yeah. Both players. I wouldn't say either player's made any major mistakes. It's just come down to these small choices in when to build certain types of units for their army and having them ready. And it seems like whoever's been more aggressive so far has been the one that has controlled the match.
Well, and absolutely because LaSh's early aggression, pushing him off the berries, pushing him off the stone, all of those little micro wins snowball into what we see now.
Yeah, which is 53 military to 15 of 3D Cat. You know, he's got over 3 times the military numbers here, and he's using it to take control of all the sacred sites and just he's willing to take equal fights at this point because he has such a big advantage.
Not only that, but uh, doesn't LaSh only have one town center? Like because if you look at the villagers, 3D Cat has been on two town centers for quite a while now, and he he has less villagers.
Yeah, he clearly hasn't had the resources to keep up military and villager production at at the level he would want to. Right now, he's trying to make do with what he can. He's kiting his archers back. He's using the mangonel, and he's using that to try to get some outsized value for what he's put in. But at this point, LaSh has just sent so many units in, taken down that second town center, and just wants to trade out everything here since he controls the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking a little desperate for 3D Cat right now. I mean, look at this town center placement. He says, I need to get my Vil production back up, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not really buying you map control. I mean, it's just on the wood line outside his already built base. I feel like that's pretty desperate, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look at this out of LaSh. He's got keeps in 3 amazing locations around 3D Cat's base, and there's just nowhere for 3D Cat to expand out without having a significant fight.
Yeah, and what's going on with 3D Cat's food income right now? Why is it so low? Does he not have food?
I think getting forced off the farms on the left side of the map and losing that town center has killed his food income. So
Oh
he's
my,
trying
is this all his food
desperately.
income? If that's the case, I think this match is over. I mean, you just can't continue with 57 wood a minute when your base is looking like this.
In the same way, LaSh held on a little longer than you might have thought in the first game. I think 3D Cat will do the same in this game. So you got to earn it. I'm going to be resilient here, and I'm going to continue to play like I have a chance, even though he has fallen significantly behind.
Yeah, I mean, I love the, optimism. I love the just tough spirit, honestly, because it really sucks when the mental game just kind of knocks you out of commission and you say, I can't handle this, this is too frustrating. So, good on them. I guess I'll be eating my words. The timing on that one. Oh boy.
Well, you can't hang on forever. At some point, you say respect to my opponent. I got game one, but you took game two, and that's why we have three more games coming up. It's going to turn into a best of three here.
At the least, yep. All right, we'll see you guys in game three.
Great.
And welcome to game three of LaSh v 3D Cat in the Tech 2 Day 2 finals.
Yes, it's the second open qualifiers. The winner of this best of five will move on to the full tournament later in the month. And game one went to 3D Cat with a pretty strong performance. Game two went to LaSh with an equally strong performance. So game three, let's see who steps up.
Yeah, both games were pretty one-sided, so it seems they're pretty equally matched. And we now see the Chinese versus the Abbasid Dynasty. Let's see what that means later in this game. Looks like we've got the side-by-side sheep collection. Who's gonna get it? Place your bets.
Yeah, they split the sheep, one and one each.
Uh-huh. They said, this is my territory. You stay on your side of the map, Buster.
Yep. So the Chinese here for LaSh versus Abbasid Dynasty for 3D Cat. Here on Coastal Cliffs, we've got the water on the southeast side of the map coming into play here.
How do you get down there?
You know what? I maybe it's not coming into play. Maybe there is no way down
No.
to the water. Um
Why are there fish here? We've been baited.
We've invaded. The fish will not be coming into play because there is no unit they can fly down there and scoop them up. Maybe they need to recruit some pelicans into their civilization. Could go capture some fish, but let's get a sheep count here. How are we doing? 3D
Yeah,
count. 3D cat.
place your bets.
This,
Five sheep versus. Ooh, not looking good for LaSh.
and he's following in the footsteps of 3D cat. 3D cat really going in and swooping up a lot of the sheep.
Yeah, he kind of came down to the southeast side of the map here. Plucked one said, I'm not respecting your territory, leaving LaSh with only three in the early game. Uh, that's that sucks.
That sucks. Little advantage there from 3D cat grabbing up sheep, and just going to be smoother for him with getting the food he needs to age up and move on. And here comes the economic wing for the Abbasid dynasty.
Yeah, before we miss it again and I forget. Economic wing, yeah. Okay, so he wants the eco upgrades. Very nice.
Okay, so
And where
3D Cat did good the first game when he went for a more economic approach.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where's the tech. Okay, finally it's gonna come through for the Chinese. He's gonna go for the Imperial Academy, which is the economic landmark.
And he's going to plop it right down in the middle of his town. And he'll have the berries and the lumber line within that radius.
Yeah, and where are these villagers going? Second town center time? Getting that stone?
They're, they're going to go get some stone. Yeah.
You know,
Wouldn't be surprised to see a second town center come down for the Abbasid dynasty.
especially playing against the Chinese, you definitely want to keep your economy as, close together as possible because obviously the Chinese are going to be wanting to play for that late game, go for the economy boom to get to that late game, and then just play off of their advantages
Mm-hmm.
in H4.
Mm-hmm. And,
Yeah.
and what kind of advantages might those be in H4 for the Chinese?
I think
Like,
they just have like super. I don't know, honestly. I just know that the Chinese is a late game faction, and they want to see themselves get to H4 to really take advantage of their faction's strengths.
okay, yeah, maybe some strong archers of some kind.
Yeah, like gunpowder units probably. Yeah. Off the top of my head, I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember, but
I
oh,
guess we will wait and see what they do.
and we have Barbican of the Sun going down, which is basically a fancy castle, so it's gonna be able to defend the berries, which if you were joining us for game two, you would know how important it is to defend your berry bushes and the problems that come with not doing so.
Yeah, yeah. Those poor berry villagers. If I went up to the tax collector. I said, "Can you give me a job?" And he put me on berries. I'd switch with someone else.
Very well
Say,
said.
put me on the wood line,
Yeah,
okay?
please not the berries. Please. Anything but the berries.
Yeah, they're gonna come in with some cavalry charges on the berry line. You love to see it.
Yeah, this is definitely PTSD from the round two match from earlier.
He's gonna defend those berries and let's see the center of the map. What kind of battlefield we might be fighting over?
Sure. I mean, we've got. It's interesting because the map shows like very thick forest, but then there's so many trees sporadically spread around that it's gonna make for
hmm
some really tight conflicts. Not nice open fields and plains and
Definitely, yeah. Significant change from the last match. There's a lot of little tree obstacles around here.
also worth mentioning, not a lot of elevation to play with here. It looks very flat as well, so no high ground bonuses gonna be coming into play.
Nothing too significant. And LaSh, the Chinese, with a few more villagers than Abbasid Dynasty at this point in the game.
Yeah,
But it looks like Abbasid Dynasty is going to catch up at some point here because he's got two town centers down.
yeah. I wonder why such a big difference in villas so early without any combat.
Yeah, just maybe it comes down to production or all this stone that the Abbasid Dynasty is mining. That's a lot of stone.
I mean, yeah. Regardless of how, it's gonna be fine because he's gonna get that long-term advantage from having that town center too there. Uh, bunch of
Mhm.
villagers unprotected on the stone over here gonna be sent home unfortunately. That sucks.
Yeah, by the scout all by himself, he's able to say, "Get out of here." But they might have enough stone to do what they wanted there. You see, they're building.
Yeah, they were able to sneak out with enough stone to get the town center 2 up. Looks like perfectly, by the way. So not a big deal. Mission accomplished and no
Mhm.
casualties. So
Yeah, and that's a nice wall that the Chinese have built there down by the water. They're they're gonna start building this wall here and force them into his defensive landmark. So you can't come this way. Why don't you walk right by my defensive landmark if you are gonna bring any army later in the game?
and take a look at this. Town center number 3 coming up for 3D Cat on the Abbasid Dynasty,
Both players booming as much as possible.
which
You
is
know,
actually surprising to me on such a small map, but I guess he's really respecting, and I guess with the Barbican of the Sun being here, there's really no point, and now with the walls coming up, yeah, looks like we're gonna have ourselves a nice slow early game, focusing on the economy, but looks like 3D Cat might have the advantage with the third town center being up and running.
yeah, he's slowly catching up in villager count here. He is almost equal, and if we look, he's got 22 on food. 3D Cat does, as opposed to only 21 for LaSh,
Oh,
and
okay.
15 on gold.
So that's what it is. The Chinese pump out workers every 15 seconds, whereas the standard is 20. So that's why the huge deficit early on in this game so far.
Okay, so being on only two town centers is not as disadvantaged. It's not as big of a disadvantage as it would be for other civilizations here because he can almost keep up.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Town Center 3 coming out for LaSh. I think he's got everything he needs out of these two, and plus with the stone being that far away and undefended, it's not all that worth it. Even
And
though,
look at the walling once again.
yeah,
He's
it's very nice walls.
Yeah, and even to the right of his landmark, he is trying to create like a funnel, like walk right through here, right past my big landmark. He wants to force fights in this area.
Yeah, and you don't want to mess with the Barbican of the Sun. I mean, look at that attack, 25 hand cannon compared to Town Center Chinese. Are you serious?
Are Chinese town centers just that strong?
I guess the Capital Town Center also gets a 25 hand cannon attack, but looking at
What's the range?
the range, I believe 6 tiles is standard. But yeah, a standard town center has an 8 bow attack, so the Chinese town center and Barbican of the Sun are just so much better. And you can see the scout just slowly chipping away at the mining camp, and I guess LaSh just doesn't care, because with 430 health to go, it's going to be a while.
Yeah, and I think he might be trying to bring his spearmen back wherever they ran off to, but he has 2 spearmen out on the field. Abbasid Dynasty has not built one unit yet for military. You know, he is full economy. Military wing is coming in though for the Abbasid dynasty, so he is clearly planning on producing some military soon. And on the other side, the Chinese are building that astronomical clock tower.
Yeah, that's a nice, strong landmark for Siege, and he's actually with the military wing going to get some free military units. I wonder, are we going to see some more Nest of Bees?
He may produce more Nesta bees. We love to see those. Those are such a fun unit to have out on the battlefield, and when they hit, they really do hit. Can take out a lot of archers. And now we got Abbasid. He's producing some stuff.
Yeah,
He's got some
the
military.
military buildings are coming down, and we're seeing him produce Ghulams and crossbowmen and camel riders, so a very diverse military.
The Ghulams. The Ghulams. What would their purpose be here? They kind of the frontliners here.
Mm, I think they might be a man-at-arms replacement, and they're just like a little bit better, a little bit different. Yeah.
This is got some Ghulams, and we've got the second farming upgrade coming in for the Chinese.
I wonder what is the thing that they're going to be fighting over right now? Because we see the first little skirmish is going to start happening here. But is it over the relic?
Yeah, probably looking to just take that relic. He doesn't look like he wants to put his walls in front of the sacred site. He's
Yeah, how many relics do we have on this map? One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so a standard 5 relics. But I guess this one is in the middle. And in fact, if LaSh is able to get this secondary wall up, he's gonna get the so many resources. Honestly, we've got gold vein, stone vein, sacred site, gold, and a relic. I mean that would be huge if he can get control of this part of the map. That would just make 3D Cat. That's definitely something worth fighting over later.
and are those nests of bees in the queue for LaSh here?
Two
He's
Nest of
he's
Bees.
2 nests of bees. And Abbasid Dynasty, he's got some crossbowmen out there. He's got 7 of them. So we're going to be seeing some fun fights here. Nest of Bees versus crossbows. One of my favorite fights to watch go down.
What's interesting is 3D Cat decided to play for this northwestern side of the map, and there's only one trade post on this map. So I'm wondering, does he care more about trade than this abundance of resources down here?
Quite possibly. And, he's looking at the sacred site up there too. And, he has scouted out the landmark from the Chinese. So he knows that bottom middle part of the map is pretty well defended. Maybe he's just looking to control the other areas.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see these decisions play out later in the game with LaSh prioritizing the south side of the map, which just has honestly what seems like just more important stuff. But I guess that depends. Not gonna make it.
Not gonna make it. The monk is not gonna return. Last shining just enough to delay the monk. Okay, here comes the second monk, and he's gonna grab that relic and run.
Yeah, it just really sucks that he wasn't able to finish the wall here, because now all these spearmen are gonna get through, and what are they gonna find? You know, they're walking right past some villagers, but I guess were being chased. So first
And
sacred
here we
site.
have first serious fight, and the
Wow.
nest of bees doing some work, but the The Gulams are chasing down these nests of bees.
The Nestabes might have done some work, but if they go down here, that's just not going to be worth it because they are so expensive. But with the villagers pounding out their hammers and repairing them, looks like they're going to keep up. And they got such a beautiful volley off earlier.
Insane range from this nest of bees. And you know the outposts are there, laying the pain.
Yeah, I think we just
He's
see
gonna
a
have to
little
fall
bit
back.
too much production into the Nestabes at this point in the game. The ratio is just not really working out here. Nice big hit, but you know losing an Nestabes like that this early is gonna, you're gonna feel that. And
Mm-hmm.
even with all these Nestabes, 3D Cat is able to push LaSh outside of his own little walled off pocket here. Even with
3D Cat's got triple his military, now almost quadruple. He's producing so fast.
yeah, and now he's gonna come up to this wall here. What does he want to do? Who's
So
this?
3D Cat really going on the aggression, being aggressive here, which is good because he's got the military advantage right now. And here you see LaSh queuing up a bunch of crossbowmen.
LaSh wants crossbows probably to deal with these Gulams. I think that's a great idea. And 3D Cat, he knows the Barbican of the Sun is there, so he's going to opt to go around and take this wall down. What is he going to be able to
This is what
find?
I worried about. This is what I've been worried about for LaSh is that he'll come through this huge undefended wall and just have access to the back of his base, just bypassing all those defenses.
Yeah, and if you look at the mini map, it's just like a column of ants trickling into the base of LaSh right now.
They found their opening, but the nest of
Huge,
bees
huge nest of bees hit right there.
weakening up the Gulams in a major way and taking out some archers as well.
Nest of bees definitely paying the bills this game.
Yeah, definitely, but 5 times as many military here for the Abbasid dynasty, losing them quick, but
Yeah,
both nest
unfortunately,
of bees down.
getting into the back line there, that's going to be costly. And now you see the farm economy being disrupted. Villager goes down. It's not looking good for LaSh here. That one wooden wall was just not enough.
The wooden wall did not last long. It went down in about 10 seconds and they just walked right in.
Yeah,
You
and
know, the
there just wasn't a military response from LaSh. I think he's been playing a little too heavy on the economy. And now we're seeing what the consequences of that are.
yeah, the villager count has absolutely diverged entirely. Twice as many villagers for Abbasid
Wow. Oh
dynasty.
my god. Okay. Game 3. LaSh
That just ended quickly.
LaSh just says, "You know what? Let's put this one to bed and move on to game 4."
Yeah, I think that building that defensive landmark right on top of your base and then building your second town center also right on top of your base and not using those to spread out a little bit and take more map control really bit him in the butt there.
Yep. We'll see what he has to say in game 4. We'll see you guys there. Okay. And into game 4 we go in this best of 5 series. LaSh v 3D Cat. My name is Beltram, and joining me again is my co-caster Valdez.
Hello, hello, glad to be here, and I'm excited to see these two civs face off, the Holy Roman Empire versus the English on bridges.
That is right. English being one of my favorite civs just because they have such a beautiful farming economy and love to see the early longbow gameplay, to be honest.
Well, I hope we get to see a lot of longbows come out for the English for you this game. And 3D Cat here on the English, if he wins this game, he wins the set and will move on in the tournament.
That is correct. Yeah, I think LaSh is just trying to scrub game 3 out of his mind because it did not go well for him.
Yeah,
He's
I think he just failed to defend his portion of the map really well. And once 3D Cat had gotten into the back line, the game was over instantly. So we'll see if LaSh plays more defensive this game and really tries to turtle up well, or if maybe he gets aggressive like he did in his victory in match 2.
Yeah, I feel like they have kind of taken turns on the aggression in this best of five so far. So like in the first match, one of them is aggressive, and then in the second match, the other one is aggressive. So I feel like it's a little bit of like a little bickering match, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of early game aggression we get this match.
Yeah, and LaSh already with his monk out there, right, for the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah, he's got they're called prelates, and they're out here making sure that the villagers are having a jolly old time.
Oh yeah, he's buffing them up.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's buffing them up. He's making sure they're working hard. He's giving them a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, where the
Maybe some.
Chinese bust out the tax collectors and tell you go to work, the Holy Roman Empire bust out the prelate and say praise Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Get to work. You're working for the Lord. So
And the
start
Lord
working.
demands the Aachen Chapel.
The Aachen Chapel. Okay. Inspires units in a radius around it. So
Yeah,
good
so it's like a
economic outpost there.
super prelate. Yeah, and for the English, no surprise, we're gonna see the council hall come down for that double production longbowman speed. So I guess we will be able to get to see some longbow early action here. And with the resources being so far from the town center, we better see some outposts coming up for LaSh here because longbows would just be absolutely devastating on all aspects of his economy in this map.
Yep. Yep. We see I mean this map in general is really cool. We've got the bridges, two bridges on each river, one on each side, and the holy sacred sites, sacred site in the south, sacred site in the north, relic in the north, relic in the south. So you got to get your armies across these bridges, and these natural bottlenecks could come into play.
I think that is definitely going to be seen.
Right now, he's leading the sheep across the bridge. You got to be careful with that because they could, slip into the current and get washed away.
Right into your opponent's base.
Yeah, yeah, they wash downstream towards the English base. Here, look at that big old boat for the English right there in the middle of
Boat?
their. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
that.
I thought I was missing that they were going for naval, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, okay. You're talking about the aesthetic town center choice. Okay, I was like, whoa, what kind of game is this?
Oh, they just like their boats. They put a big statue of one right in the middle of their town center.
That's fair. The English are historically a naval superpower, so it makes sense. Very fitting.
Yeah, and the English getting the lumberjack and the farming upgrades already started.
As long as longbow production, yeah. So he's going eco, he's going military, but LaSh is no fool. He already sees the longbow. He sees the council hall. So he knows what's coming. He's gonna get walls up on the south side of his base. His town center is
Hmm.
actually kind of in a nice location because these two forests are kind of like a nice choke point, a natural choke
Hmm.
point, and
Yeah, yeah, and you can see he doesn't want people to get in from the south side of his base there, so he has walled this down here. Because if you got a bunch of longbows, you could range those wood lines. But at this point, with the town center on the other side, wall on one side, he should be pretty well defended.
at this point, what's interesting is that he's got an archery range and a stable, and he's building archers against the English, who have longbows, which are just better. So that's an interesting choice. But he's going to have it covered with the stable. We're probably going to see light cav. We see one
And
light cav in production.
his scout escaping with 5 HP. Pretty sure that's one arrow's worth of health that he survived on.
6 damage versus no armor. Yeah, he would
And
his goose would have been cooked.
he's regenning now. He says bring him home. But oh, okay, we might see some scouts meeting on a bridge.
Oh, he wants
And
it.
he's gonna run for his life here.
Scout does bonus damage to Scout. This could be a one shot if he gets hit here in a sec. No, he
No, and he's
says
gonna give up. English is going to take his sheep home because I'm pretty sure the English like collecting sheep.
They don't
So
have any inherent bonuses, but early game sheep collection is important because it means that you don't have to go to another source of food in the early game and put down the mill and play dangerous. So it is a big deal, regardless of what civ you're playing.
yeah, and the English not moving forward with those
And
6 longbowmen. They're just waiting it out
no,
until they build up some more numbers.
no, in fact, if you look at this, if we look from 3D Cat's perspective, he's got one longbowman watching the entire perimeter of his base for full vision, which is just so smart. That way you don't have to waste hundreds of wood on outposts. And now we see the light cav coming in, countering the longbow.
This is the disadvantage of spreading your longbowmen out. They can they're 1v1ing a man on a horse here with a big spear.
Luckily, that English Town Center does get the bonus second arrow, and with the Vills sneaking in there, that is an easy, quick kill. Was that his scout too? LaSh's scout? Yeah, that's a big loss, honestly. Oh wait, but no, no, that
No,
was
that
light
was
cav. Okay, okay, not as big of a loss.
so his scout's still running around.
Did you hear that, or am I crazy?
Were those technologies coming
Oh,
in?
okay, okay, okay. He was putting palings down. I was like, why, why am I hearing a forest get chopped? Like, what was that? He was okay. He was putting the palings down. Should have done that before. Very minor mistake, not a big deal. But yeah, the palings are the other English advantage for the longbows, and if cavalry run into those, they get stunned and take damage. So,
Really cool mechanic there for the English. That's a lot of fun to use.
big time.
In Holy Roman Empire, they've got their own archers. They're all together too, so we'll see if he just wants to defend the relics while he collects them. I think is his primary objective here.
Yeah, we see 8 English longbows versus 11 total regular archers for LaSh. But 3D Cat's archers have taken some chip damage, or at least some of them have, and they're spread out. So let's see how superior these longbows actually are.
Well, they've got the range, so they can, with good micro, 3D Cat will be able to chip away at them. But in pure numbers wise, LaSh has built up a larger army. But I think that the English are pretty well defended here. Maybe they might get pushed off their farms if this fight doesn't go well, but
Yeah, that bonus range coming into play here, getting some free damage in, maybe a kill. English
and
longbows
now
go
the
down.
town center is about to start laying the paint on the one light cav he has.
Yeah, you don't need a pro to know not to mess with an English town center, and now these bows are just going to chip away at these poor regular archers. The one advantage that we do see coming in for standard archers is that they're a little bit faster, so they can actually slowly kite away. But if they're going to push like this, I'm not really sure what they're hoping to achieve here with the town center being, 3 feet behind.
Yeah, you can see just like 5 or 6 English longbowmen is about as effective as 10 for the Holy Roman Empire. So
Yeah, and that is the scout going to go down this time.
this light cav, I think, is going to meet a similar fate. He's going to run in and take some town center fire, probably.
Yeah, and those arrows do hurt with only, 5 in the garrison. It's going to go down real quick. And now, without the bonus vision from the scout and the counter of the light cav, these archers are in a very precarious spot, stuck in the corner here, running for their lives, not wanting to mess with these English longbows.
The
Not very
English getting
surprising.
an elite upgrade here. Is that for their longbows?
Sure is,
That's,
yep.
oh, veteran longbowman.
And it's going to come into play for this fight here.
They're feeling confident. They continue to push forward and kite back. Really good work to keep whittling down superior numbers until now the English almost have superior numbers here.
Look at all these vills that are getting pushed off the gold, though. So, I mean, LaSh is doing a good job with the early game aggression this time. Like I said, it's like a bickering match going back and forth between who has been doing the early game aggression. Obviously, last game
Mm-hmm.
LaSh got pushed out really early, gave up.
And LaSh hitting age 3 here, so maybe that's why he's taking that aggression.
Yeah, what did he do
And
for age 3? Regnit's Cathedral. Okay. And how many relics does he have? None right now, but is he going to be sending out the prelates to go get those? Because having 100% bonus gold generation would be an absolutely huge late game advantage here.
Yeah, he's placed the cathedral safely towards the back of his base. And he's looking to make the open fields his battlefield here, just in the middle of the map.
Yep. No sporadic trees on this map to get in the way of your sight lines and all that.
Yeah, and what are those three royal knights from the Holy Roman Empire coming in, or are they light cav?
For the Holy Roman Empire?
Yes, yes, we've
He
got
he
just regular knights.
yeah, what's interesting is he's built even more stables in the back of his base, and
Now we're going to see the English steal that relic, which the Holy Roman Empire wants so badly.
now we see the English busting out the crossbows, which is going to counter the knights, which is not going to be good for LaSh either. We can see just how easy it is to take them out, but they're still going to be
Two
afraid.
knights will
Yeah,
be a problem.
yeah. These longbows don't stand a chance, but the crossbows, they can do the job.
Yeah, and the longbowmen slightly slower movement speed wise, correct? So
Compared to a regular archer, yeah, so they're going to get run down a little bit easier. And what is going on over here? We see a villager go down to a wolf. That is a unnecessary setback for 3D Cat. Not really sure what he was planning to achieve with that guy in the first place.
he was up there scouting around.
We see a prelate get pushed back. The English actually have sizable numbers in this little skirmish here, and two horses go down. I don't think. Oh wait, where are the longbow? Or no more crossbows is going to be a huge problem. And it looks like 3D Cat's entire army might get cleaned up here.
Yeah, LaSh doing a great job to prevent 3D Cat from building a critical archer mass that is just too strong to go anywhere near. You know, he's willing to just keep fighting these small skirmishes and keep those numbers down until these knights with superior HP and armor are able to really make a huge difference, just one or two of them.
Look
And
at
look at
all these
this
farms.
farming. Beautiful farm placement.
Yeah, this is why I love the English right here because I guarantee you 3D Cat is looking to get into Age 4 and get the English technology enclosures so that way these farms can start spitting out gold as well.
Yeah, and the two archer armor upgrades, for LaSh, for the Holy Roman Empire, I think playing a big role in
Correct.
those early skirmishes going his way here.
Yeah, no surprise considering the English likes to play with those longbows and has been playing with those longbows, but look at all these eco techs coming out for 3D Cat right now. He says, I want wood, I want food, I want stone, I want gold.
Yeah, how many town centers are we sitting on for each civ here? The English a 12 villager lead,
Yeah, that's
which is
because he went for
significant.
the King's Palace for the H3 Tech Up, which is a town center. So you don't have to waste stone to get that, so that's nice. For LaSh, we see just the one, and that's where that huge lead is coming from.
So
In
15 minutes into game 4 here, 3D Cat with significant villager lead, a little bit behind on army and maybe army strength, but also, he has a relic. It looks like the Holy Roman Empire's maybe got two more relics in on the way. Still, it's a pretty close game right now.
Yeah, nothing too major has happened so far. The economies have been relatively undisturbed. The military skirmishes have been isolated and small, and they haven't really fought over anything of significant value yet.
Yeah, both players doing just enough to defend, and walls going up for the English. He's planned out some major defensive walls there. Not
Not
not looking to claim too much of the map.
not only the walls, but this is a big tell right here. He's going for the English Special Tech Armor Clad, which gives your men at arms +2 armor. And we haven't seen him build any men at arms yet, but here they come. And English men at arms are just so tanky. Unfortunately, LaSh has crossbows on the field already, so I'm not sure that's going to be the right choice. I don't know if he knows that or not yet, though.
Yeah, we'll see here. The English just throwing away a knight there.
Yeah, not quite paying attention, kind of just spread out, sporadic. And I really hope for 3D Cat's sake that he prioritizes getting this wall up right now because here they come.
Here they come. Yeah, 29 military units for the Holy Roman Empire.
He can
Look at
sing.
those knights just sitting there watching.
Yeah, and this
And
is where
does
the fog of war really comes into play because, he can kind of see the wall. I don't think he's too worried about it yet because it's so small, but you really don't want to let him get this up.
Yeah, he's running the scout forward because it's got great vision. He's trying to see those archers. He knows the archers aren't around, so he's going to run in and kill these villagers.
Not a huge loss considering the gigantic villager lead that he has, but yeah, he should definitely be prioritizing getting his walls up right now, knowing that the enemy's military sits right outside.
Yeah, the biggest difference right now is in food per minute for the English, where it's 1,600 food per minute, and for
Wow.
the Holy Roman Empire, it's just over 900.
Yeah, it looks like prioritizing those eco upgrades for the English is really paying its dues right now, and obviously the English farms produce more food passively anyways.
Yeah, and the Holy Roman Empire is moving in here. Here come the knights charging in, but the crossbows.
So
There's
many
enough of them.
crossbows.
There's enough to scare him off. He says, I can't take this fight, actually.
Yeah, 3D Cat's military composition here actually really strong because these bows aren't going to be able to get through the men-at-arms thick armor, 7 ranged armor, 8 damage on these bows. So they're not going to do anything. And then for the horses, he's got the crossbows. So he's running all the way home right now and he doesn't have any walls for himself either.
He's building the Palace of Swabia at home, so it looks like he's maybe just looking to defend and tech up to age 4 after that. He realized he was not going to have success in that fight.
Okay, that makes sense. So his battle plan was to get the Palace of Swabia up, which is a town center that produces villagers 200% faster at a reduced cost. So he might be behind now, but he's definitely gonna propel himself.
And this is a big fight here. He's running in. He's managed to get in on the archers with the knights. The men at arms are not doing much right now. They're just kind of running around. Okay. This is a good fight for the Holy Roman Empire, I think.
Uh,
But the numbers of the English are overwhelming.
yeah, I wouldn't be so sure. These men at arms don't really take damage, and they're just chewing up these archers. Even though this is under the Holy Roman Empire town center, it's not going to be a huge factor considering these arrows barely do a thing. And with the farm economy right there, 3D Cat is going to be looking to push his advantage all the way, and these villagers don't realize the danger they're in yet.
Yeah, and Holy Roman Empire is just not producing any military units right now, except for a few knights or light cav to stop this.
Yeah, and now we're actually seeing English light cav trickle in, which is going to be a huge problem considering LaSh has so many ranged units. A little bit of light cav of his own, but for what purpose? The crossbows are protected.
The crossbows are getting a lot of value here. All
Yeah,
those farmers have moved and gone somewhere else. And what are these springold emplacements coming in for the Holy Roman Empire?
that is a cannon emplacement.
Can even more powerful. That's going to probably push back this English attack.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, too little, too late because that farm. Maybe the villagers are alive, but the farming economy was definitely disrupted. And if we look at the food income per minute right now, it is just not even comparable.
Not comparable at all. And all the other resources are pretty equivalent for the most part here. So that the English just running around with a massive army here, wreaking havoc, destroying things. Everybody pushing forward. The Holy Roman Empire is not gonna have much here. They need an answer.
Their answer is to hide behind this thin wooden wall and cross their fingers that the English don't get through because if you look at the military difference right now, 12 to 42, there's just absolutely no way they stand any chance of stopping this push. And what are these villagers up to? They're going to get a siege workshop down. I'm not really, maybe so you can get a mangonel, but
Could have used
again,
that a minute ago.
yeah, too little, too late once again. And the English are through the wall and they're into the military buildings, and the stable is definitely going to go down here. What else is he going to be able to get?
Just destroying these stables is a big deal because that is what you might have been vulnerable to if they had built a critical mass of horsemen to get in on your crossbows. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
Not only that, but LaSh doesn't even have the wood to be able to replace them at this point.
Yeah, and you look at villager count. There's English are hitting 100 villagers here. Back at home, nice economy. It's barely been disrupted all game.
And here comes the battering ram to push the advantage. I think he's going to look to just clean up this unprotected south side of the base. We do see the outpost coming down, but that's just not going to be enough. We do see the mangonel come out, which is going to be helpful, but again, 19 versus 50 on the military count. This could be game here. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
they're diving in. They're looking to take out that mangonel right away. Holy Roman Empire's got some crossbowmen that are putting in work, but their tower with the cannons getting rammed down.
And there it goes.
Villagers are on the run. Villagers are running for their lives.
Villagers looking to get involved and take down the battering ram.
And they're just fighting at this point. They're scrapping.
Yeah, they said, hey, we need the militia to get involved and do what you can to protect this because we don't have military units.
And population dropping significantly for LaSh. This is not looking good for him.
It looks like the English military will get eventually cleaned up here, and LaSh is age 4, so he does have a few hand cannoners in the back here doing absolutely, work, but he just doesn't have enough to really make a difference, and with the English military just trickling in at the rate that it is, I don't know.
LaSh 0 wood income right now, 0 stone income, and half as much food income as 3D Cat. So I
Yeah.
think the English are going to be able to rebuild their army a lot more efficiently here.
Yeah, we can see them massing outside, and counterweight trebuchet is here and ready to start putting the hurt on the whatever's left of LaSh's base at this point. Even
Yeah,
with
take out a couple key buildings here.
even with LaSh going for the Regnitz, or Palace of Swabia rather, his Vil count is less than half.
Yeah, this is a massive lead for the English here. 3D Cat looking to close out this series, and that last fight, while was relatively even, it wasn't damage that LaSh could afford to take.
And with 2 trebuchets slamming down on this outpost, he does pop the emergency repairs, which is why we see the health. But there it goes. That's it for the emergency repairs. It's on fire,
And
and it
he's
is
pushing
gone.
now. He's pushing because he knows he needs to take these out. And he'll take out one trebuchet, but I think that's where the damage might be limited. I don't know if these light cav will be able to take out a second one. It's going to be close.
He does get it, but one still remains, and that's going to continuously put pressure on his base, and he just does not have the power to leave his base. And all of these light cav are on the hand cannoners in the back line, and they're just going to get cleaned up. And there's not much else. We see the outpost, the cannon outpost back here. We see an empty outpost over there.
Yeah, massive amounts of numbers of units coming forward for the English. You can see on the mini map there. They'll be reinforcing this army, and he's got another trebuchet there to
Yeah,
replace one of the ones he lost.
I think what we are witnessing is the power of the English farming economy in the back line really coming online now that it has, the age 3 upgrades.
I really like how he used that river up there to the north as like one of the walls of his base, the English. And look, he's walled that off, so he's extremely defended. There's no vulnerable location to attack the English. He has to beat the army. And when the army just gets replaced with 2,500 food income per minute.
Yeah, I just feel like LaSh is a little bit paralyzed here and doesn't really know what to do because he keeps busting out these hand cannoners, but what are they going to do?
Yeah, at one point he had 5 hand cannoners and then he dropped to about 1, so if he could have kept his hand cannoners all alive, and built up a large mass, he could have maybe started to defend and push back, but oh, the trebuchets raining down.
And there it
And
is.
that is the game. 3D Cat defeating LaSh in a best of 5 series, 3 games to 1. Really impressive gameplay from 3D Cat there.
Yeah, I mean the whole best of five was so back and forth. The early game aggression from both of them, they basically took turns, and you know now it's over.
I think 3D Cat just playing a really great game of map control and knowing when to harass and attack the opponent. He played great defense there in game 4 when LaSh got aggressive initially.
Hmm.
And just with a couple of spread out longbowmen all around the map was able to defend against any early harassment, and he got those farms going.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake was trying to tee off with the English economy. Like I said in the beginning, those English farms, you don't mess with them, and we saw just how big of a difference they were to make with the food per minute income.
That beautiful efficient farm placement from 3D Cat made it, it made a difference in the end.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they,
could we could we see the military stats here?
yeah,
Thank you. Yeah. And you can see relatively even in kill death ratio here. It's not an incredible difference, but it was just 3D Cat's ability. Yeah, look at the largest army, ability to replace all of those units.
hmm
How does that even work? How do you get up to 193 for your largest army? Did
You
he
know,
delete all his
that is
villagers in the
that is
end?
a good question. I have no clue.
We'll have to check the VOD on that one because that is a massive army. I don't think we ever saw that.
No, that's just not possible.
That's just not possible. But what do you think? Good series?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these players were very equally matched. It was a very back and forth series, and it was a pleasure to be able to watch these such high level players try and compete for the upcoming tournament later next month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing 3D Cat compete again now that he's qualified. And good, I'll say, well played by LaSh for putting up a good fight.
Absolutely.
And and really, he had a chance in every game. It was just the early game battles from 3D Cat were well thought out and well executed. So he was able to gain these minor advantages that just snowballed.
I completely agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you for casting with me, Beltram. It was really fun doing our first tournament cast,
Yeah,
and
it's been a pleasure.
I'm looking forward to doing many more with you in the future.
Yeah, and we will see you guys next time.
Adios.